Modified chicken. Would you eat chicken at a neighborhood fast food chain if you knew what you were eating is not real? Would you sink your teeth into a juicy chicken tender if you were aware that what you're putting into your body is destroying your metabolism? Well, most people, even if they had knowledge of these disturbing facts, would ignore the risks. What society is broadcasting to the community is, if it tastes good, then it's safe to eat. But in reality, the world is becoming more unhealthy every year. Each chicken item a consumer buys at a neighborhood fast food chain only magnifies the problem and desensitizes the public to these disturbing facts. The United States government should ban the promotion of modified chicken under the generic name chicken because the consumers that are high risk for diabetes, the animals slaughtered for the product are being genetically altered, and the product may poison the consumer with harmful bacteria. My first reason is that modified chicken may increase the risk of diabetes. Just visualize for a moment. You walk into a neighborhood fast food chain and you look up at all the unhealthy, greasy meals exhibited for all to see. As you order at that local fast food restaurant, do you consider the damage that might occur to your body when you digest all the preservatives and oils? When you chew each mushy bite of greasy chicken tender, do you even worry that what you are swallowing may increase your risk for diabetes? Well, many just look past the risks and just enjoy the greasy, unhealthy meal that they paid only $1 for. But behind the false yet eye-catching advertisements by fast food chains, the world is becoming diabetic and obese. One of the culprits is a repulsive ingredient fried in the batter of chicken tenders. It is called polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or burnt fats. These burnt fats, says Dr. Gabe Mirkin, block insulin receptors that prevent the body from responding to insulin, causing high rises in blood sugar. These high rises in blood sugar cause sugar to attach to the outer surface membranes of cells, obliterating them. This depletes cells in all parts of the body, causing diabetes or heart attacks. Also, sugar may be transported to the muscle and liver cells, if the sugar is not burned into energy, it will be stored as glycogen. As glycogen crams into the cells, the remaining sugar will be converted into triglycerides, which is a type of fat. The liver cells are then filled with triglycerides, which cause a fatty liver. Diagnosis of a fatty liver will only worsen your problems when you find out that you have diabetes. But this is not the only thing that lurks within our chicken products. Because of the increasing rate of hormones, GMOs, and chemicals found in our foods, says Seattle Organic Restaurants, our children at the age of 10 are being diagnosed with diabetes. GMOs, or genetically modified foods, are inorganic materials found in our foods. The effect of GMOs in our body's digestive system disrupt proper insulin regulation. An example of a GMO is corn feed fed to chickens. The corn feed is treated with pesticides like the pesticide Roundup, which, if it is consumed, it will cause cells in the human body to mutate, causing cancer. Genetically modified foods may also be synthesized with hydrogenated oils, which may lead on to trans fats. Trans fats were banned by the FDA because they were artificially produced fats that the body could not use. Is this really what we're putting into our body? As the general public buys into the false advertising of our generic chicken products, the diabetes rate increases and our children become obese. Studies show that 1 out of 3 kids born after the year 2000 is obese or diabetic. Diabetes is not a disease you could treat with pills. It is a health problem that you need to regulate for the rest of your life. We must not allow these disturbing things to continue. We must choose to initiate change. My second reason that the government should illegalize the selling of modified chicken is the animals are being genetically altered. When we think of farms, we think of animals being fed, taken care of, and allowed space to roam. But when we eat at a local Wendy's, McDonald's, or Kentucky Fried Chicken, we are promoting mistreatment and genetic modification of animals. The chickens are fed modified corn, drugs, hormones, and other chemicals to grow faster and become larger, says Seattle Organic Restaurants website. And because of their heavy weight, they cripple and they suffer from all kinds of diseases like bronchitis, pneumonia, and weakened immune system, plus respiratory problems or organ failures. Also, another race of chickens exists without feet, beaks, or feathers. These chickens have been produced by the fast food chain Kentucky Fried Chicken to gain a larger profit. These alleged chickens are being kept alive by tubes inserted into their bodies to pump nutrients and blood throughout their structure. Their bone structure, says Great Mystery Publishing, is dramatically reduced to get more meat out of them. This allows Kentucky Fried Chicken to obtain a larger profit without having to pay more for their meat. Production costs have reduced because they do not have to compensate to pluck feathers, remove beaks, and chop off feet. This matter has been argued as fictional by Kentucky Fried Chicken, but proven to by various websites. Even if there are not featherless chickens out there, there's still mistreatment of animals. It is said that chickens are kept in tight cages, which allows them to transfer diseases easily. Most people think that since animals can't talk, they don't feel pain. This is a sad falsehood. Animals are capable of feeling pain and showing their emotions. Humans are not that different. My third reason is that the generic products, chicken products, may poison the consumer with harmful bacteria. For example, one freezing day in December, a man the age of 23 ambled into a Zaxby's food chain. He ordered the chicken finger plate and sat down. As he began to eat, he noticed that the chicken tasted really strange, but he kept on eating. When he finished, he began to feel nauseous, and as he climbed into his car and drove away, the sign reading "Real Chicken" minimized in the rearview mirror. This was my stepbrother Scott, and he suffered from a bacterial infection. Sadly, this is not the only case. Many have suffered from bacteria, arsenic poison, salmonella, and other dangerous bacteria. Not only Zaxby's, but other foods as well have sold poisoned chicken products to their consumers. These farms who feed all kinds of drugs, GMOs, and carcinogens to the chickens also contaminate the chickens with arsenic, dangerous bacteria, or salmonella. But what the food industry doesn't want you to know, writes Seattle Organic Restaurants, is that based on consumer reports, 2/3 of chickens in the grocery store contain arsenic. The FDA finally confessed to the horrific reality that the United States chicken does contain arsenic. Arsenic is a toxic chemical that may cause diabetes or even death in high dosages. Consumers should know that arsenic is added to chicken's diet by the food industry on purpose. Studies show a strong correspondence between cancer and the arsenic found in the human body. That is why we must peruse each package of chicken before we buy it. One wrong choice could lead to the whole family becoming ill. But the FDA still claims that there's a low level of arsenic in the chicken products found in stores. Even if there's a low concentration of arsenic in the meat, there's only a certain amount that can be digested before it poisons the consumer. While chicken is being contaminated with arsenic, it goes through a wide range of disgusting processes before it is sold to the consumer. When the meat is purchased, it is first mechanically separated. This refers to the mechanization that enables meat processors to achieve edible meat tissues from animal carcasses. This means that the chicken is smashed and pressed through a sieve. The result is edible meat tissue separated from the carcasses and bones. After it is pressed into a mush like pink slime, says Snopes.com, the combination is treated with ammonium hydroxide to kill the many bacteria that swarm within it. The slime will be reflavored artificially and dyed a different colors so that the consumers may be tricked into eating it. Is this really what we want to feed to our children? Why, America? Despite the large amounts of bacteria crawling within our meats, we still feed them to our children. As Americans, we must raise awareness, impart change, broaden revolution, and speak out against the advertisement industry. These reasons further rationalize that the United States government should ban the promotion of modified chicken under the generic name chicken because the risk of diabetes increases every year, consumers are becoming ill with bacterial infections, and farms are genetically altering their chicken. While animals suffer, consumers become ill, society suffers from apathy, and politicians hide behind their offices, the pandemic of ignorance becomes widespread. While we ignore the statistics, our children are becoming diabetic and obese. Animal cruelty, genetic modification, and diabetes have never been worse. Our society is suffering from gullibility and ignorance as we are drawn in by eye-catching commercials. Our government needs to take action by impeding the selling of these modified chicken products so that our country may become aware of what they are eating. Should we allow the epidemic of ignorance to poison our mindsets? Or should we immunize against it? We are given independence. I suggest we use it.